Hello, I'm Sharon Douglas, your host for Things You Need to Know. We have an exciting conversation for you today. We're talking about a project located right here in Fort Worth, a TxDOT project in the Fort Worth district for $1.6 billion. There's a lot of conversation on the streets, and we're bringing it home here today for you. And we've got guests that will talk about the Southeast Connector project. Our guests are Kelli and Jay Proskovec with South Point Constructors. Good morning
Good morning.
and welcome to Things You Need to Know. So let's get this show on the road because we've got a lot to talk about. Let's talk about you guys. Will you give us a brief introduction of what you do with the project?
Well, once again, good morning. I'll go first. And thank you for having us, and thank you all for tuning in. My name is Kelli. I work for Kiewit, which is one of the joint venture partners for the Southeast Connector. That part of the joint venture that makes up the South Point Constructors, the builders of the Southeast Connector project. My role is to lead economic inclusion for this project.
Great. Jay?
Good morning, Sharon. I echo Kelly's sentiments and thank you for having us on today. I'm the Public Information Coordinator for South Point Constructors. I've worked with Kiewit, the parent company, for almost 15 years now, and the last 10 of which in public information. It's taken me all over the country on some wonderful projects, but I'm very happy to get home to Fort Worth.
Great. And we're glad you're here. Now, Jay, would you do me a favor and tell us some history behind the project?
Absolutely. As Kelly mentioned earlier, South Point Constructors is a joint venture between Kiewit Infrastructure Southco and Austin Bridge and Road, two companies local to Fort Worth. We have 16 years of design build experience as joint venture partners on other TxDOT projects, but extensive local experience in the Fort Worth area. The project itself is comprised of about 11.1 miles of alignment, including Interstate 20, Interstate 820, and US 287 in southeast Tarrant County and Fort Worth. The project is about to commence major construction here in a couple of weeks, although we have been in the design phase since early 2022. That design, being a design build project, will continue through the end of 2023. With construction, though, like I mentioned, starting here in a couple of weeks, that will continue through the end of 2027. Now, we do also have some public information materials and avenues available for everyone to contact us if you have any questions about the project. Our toll-free hotline is available at 844-820-2870. We have our project website at www.southeastconnector.com and an email at info@southeastconnector.com. We're also very active on Twitter and Facebook, so if you use either of those avenues and you would like to contact us or follow us and stay up to date on the most up-to-date information, please follow us.
Thank you, Jay. Kelli, what about the economic impact and goals of the project?
Thank you for the opportunity to share. We are so excited about what this project means, obviously from a traffic standpoint, but really what it means from a community standpoint. This job, it's a $1.6 billion job, as you likely know. And what that equates to is about $241 million worth of contracts that will be awarded within the community. There are specific DBE goals specific to construction and professional services. So our construction goal is 14.5%, which comes to a little over $200 million. On the professional services side, we have a goal of 23%, which equals about 41 million. In addition to the contract opportunities associated with the job, there will be significant employment opportunities. So at our peak, we are looking at about 500 craft. And so we will be definitely reaching out to the community to identify individuals interested in working with us on this project.
Great. And one thing that you have said very clearly is community. And I'm glad we're staying focused with our community because there's so many people in the area without jobs. So we look forward to helping you in any way we can to make this happen. Now, if you, Kelli, this is for you. If you ran into a new DBE, how would you introduce that DBE to your program?
Yes. Well, first and foremost, my first words would be thank you for your interest. Thank you for being here. We're excited. There is a lot of opportunity. Please dive in. Please get involved. And please connect with us. It's important to note, Jay did share some great information around the public information process and the website. There is also a very specific website set up for our outreach, for community and contractor outreach. And that's something I'll share it now, but I'm hoping it's something that we can share at the close of the show. But our outreach website is southpointconstructors.com. And on that site, interested firms can find information about the team, our team. They can find information about the project, and most importantly, information about upcoming opportunities. So check out that website, visit our opportunities page where you can see a calendar of upcoming procurements, upcoming bid opportunities, and definitely reach out to us if there's anything that we can do to support you as you are looking to compete for that work.
Great. Now, I know that you communicate with us continuously through media and so forth, but you also have a platform that you work on. Can you talk to us about the Builders Connected package or the platform that we get the information through?
Yes. So real quick, there are 2 steps that we recommend that firms follow if they're looking to pursue opportunities. First, we ask that you join our database, which you can access through our website. That's the first step, just to make sure that you're getting all of the communications that we send out. The second step is to sign up for an account in Building Connected, Sharon, which you just mentioned. And this is a platform that enables us to share bid opportunities, scope package details, and all the information that you'll need to review the opportunities and have an understanding of what the requirements are. And of course, it's also a platform for communicating around those opportunities.
And I think the next thing is that we always look for contact people, people that can help us. And I'm actually putting myself here in the picture because I am a contractor. So I'm asking you, who would be my contact person if I had issues, say, with certified payroll or trying to resolve issues on the project?
Yeah, that's great information. And we're glad to share it and glad to have someone who is on point and ready to address any of those concerns. So I would say first, just to take a step back, for new firms interested in trying to navigate our process, one way they can get in touch with us is just through our general outreach email, which is outreach@southpointconstructors.com, that same site that I shared. Once a firm encounters questions, concerns, or encounters any type of barrier, we have Hugh Harrison, who is our DBE liaison, who is here to assist with navigation, resolution of any issues, and to help make the contacts with the appropriate members within the project team to make sure that firms are able to participate successfully.
Okay. Now, I'd like to back up just for a second here because I don't want to take away from our audience as far as how to navigate Building Connected. For the newer DBE, we have someone here that will walk you through the process because on the contractor side, it may show different than what we see on the subcontractor side. So, Justin, you proceed, please.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. So this here is the homepage of Building Connected that Kelly was talking about. And as you can see here, whenever you it'll have the client information so you can reach out by phone number or email. And then as you navigate your way through Building Connected, you could go here to your files. And then in your files location, this is where your addendums will be. This is geotech reports and the plans that you can download for yourself to do takeoffs for these projects.
Great. The other thing I'd like to add is once you go into that process, you will be able to attach even your company bid along with what is requested by the contractor on that same page. Now, I am looking back and I'm saying, Kelli, to you, going back to the onboarding of contractors, how do you make us feel comfortable when we come to your project? Even before the awarding of the contract?
I think our best approach to that is just through clear communication, clear, consistent, constant communication to ensure that any questions that you have are addressed and just clarity around the process. So I mentioned Hugh Harrison, who is definitely on board to assist with issues as they occur. We also have representation in our project leadership team, Ms. Carol Stolzer, who is there to assist with the onboarding process. It's very important. We know that there are many different issues that can impact a contractor's experience on the job. Understanding the payment process, understanding the requirements, the expectations, the safety program. So having those sort of processes and documentation around those processes to ensure that firms are able to easily navigate and to again perform with success on the project.
Thank you. Valuable information.
Sharon, I'd like to jump in on that as well, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Also, along with all of those resources that Kelli pointed out, each separate contract has what we would identify as a contract liaison or a discipline contact that will oversee that contract and be the single point of contact. So as you're putting your bid together and those questions come up, there will be that separate discipline contact that will have the real technical information available. So even after award, when we were talking earlier about payroll issues or other questions or other hurdles that might come up, there will be that specific liaison attached through the discipline process to help navigate any of those hurdles.
Great. Thank you. Jay, what about if you have experienced DBEs, are you guys inviting those DBEs to the table to discuss that project before you put that out on the streets?
Not usually before it goes out on the street. However, because of the design build process, even post award, we have the ability, once a firm comes in and might identify an efficiency or a way to build it better or slight design changes that through their experience, their local knowledge might be beneficial. We have that ability then to go back to TxDOT and request a design change. And so once the contracts are awarded is when that integration starts and we sit down and we look at the plans together. We can work our way through the constructability.
Thank you so much for that information. If more time is needed, for example, you guys have already put this project out in Building Connected. You've identified a start date and you've also identified a due date. Now, are there any times that you guys will wait between this? For example, if a contractor comes to you and say, I need more time, are you guys open to that?
We are, of course, we want to be respectful to all of the bidders in the sense of fairness. However, as I mentioned, there are those points of contact for each contract. So when you're in the bidding process and you're identifying maybe some time constraints, please reach out at the earliest process, and we can make some adjustments as needed. The other thing I would like to point out with the process, some of these packages might be quite large, and some of the local or smaller firms out here might feel uncomfortable bidding on the entire package. We want to encourage firms to bid on the portions of the package that fit their that fit their company size. So don't feel like you have to bid on an entire scope. It's very possible to bid on a portion of the scope, but also identify that in your bid.
So Jay, from the South Point constructors' viewpoint, how do you guys go about putting those small packages together? Are you communicating with that individual, or are you as a group are making that happen?
Well, a little bit of both. Firms identify themselves and their express interest. We're able to look at packages and they might say, well, maybe we could break this up a little bit. Firms are also invited to joint venture on their own. And there are also times when we understand that there's a large scope and we've maybe identified how to break that up. So there's probably a 3-tiered system on how to make those packages a little bit smaller.
Great. Now, between you and Kelli, this is a question. Can you point out the opportunities that we presently have on the street?
Absolutely. Currently, there's one package out there at this moment for post-tensioning. And coming up in the next few weeks in the month of March, there are three major scopes coming out. Flat work, which is a really big scope, and I think there are a lot of local firms that should show interest in that. We also have grinding and grooving, as well as permanent soil nail wall, all three of which will be coming out in the next few weeks.
Great.
And I'll
Now,
just jump in if it's
oh, sorry
okay,
about that, Kelly.
just with a quick reminder that it's hard to catch that and take note of that on the fly. So if you missed that, if you missed what Jay said, which definitely there are opportunities out on the street, take a look at our website. Again, it's southpointconstructors.com, and take a look at the opportunities page. We publish a procurement calendar right there so that you can take a look at what's coming up, as well as get an idea of when you can see those projects in Building Connected. I also mentioned joining our mailing list, joining our database, because each month, we send out kind of an update that indicates what's coming up. So join our mailing list so that you're getting these direct to your email box, and you don't miss out on the opportunities.
Kelly, that's a great point. And you mentioned our opportunities calendar that's coming out. And this kind of goes back to a question Sharon had earlier about time that bidders have to submit bids. By being in contact and being signed up and looking at that calendar, the people who have access to that really have a lot of time. As soon as that something hits that calendar, you can look as far out into the future as the calendar goes to see what's coming up. So you won't be caught off guard as long as you're checking that calendar regularly.
This is awesome because number one, we don't want to feel rushed. And the question had come to me once before, we only have a couple of days, but yet I think the contractor was not aware that they could look at a start date. So that calendar is going to be wonderful for the future and that contractor being successful. Do you guys have any questions of me as a contractor looking at your project?
I didn't expect that question, but of course I'll come up with something. I think my biggest question and biggest, I won't say challenge, but the biggest opportunity is to really maximize opportunities to get the message out and to engage. So if you have any words of wisdom for our team on how to make sure that we are connecting with the companies, with the workforce that are interested in opportunities on this job, we would take any words of wisdom that you have. We have a pretty robust outreach process in place, but that does not mean that everyone's getting the message. So anything you could offer to us as far as making sure our message is widely spread and getting out as far as it can into the community would be much appreciated.
Yes, of course, Kelly. The number one thing is that you guys, I've seen you around the area. I've seen you making those calls, and I've seen you on the media, and you are contacting organizations such as the Black Chamber of Fort Worth, also the Hispanic Chamber of Fort Worth, the Regional Hispanic Contractors, the Regional Hispanic Contractors, and the Black Contractors, and that is a key. So you've got other boots on the ground. I'll call it that. Boots on the ground that's going to help spread that word. And doing a show like this is going to help spread that word. And I like to communicate with our audience that this show is just not for this morning. This show will be on the platform continuously on YouTube. So if you have missed part of this show, then you can go back and pick it back up. This is some valuable information that Kelly and Jay have come to us today to make sure that we are aware of. This project, again, is a 1.6, a 1.6. And I get excited just saying that. It's in the city of Fort Worth. It is the the TxDOT Fort Worth District. And we want to make sure that you are involved. So if you have questions, you know how to reach me. 744. And by LinkedIn, you can also send me a message. Kelly and Jay, they are here for us. They're here to communicate every opportunity. But if you are afraid that you're not the one for the job, you won't know until you test yourself or that you communicate with us. Because again, you heard that the packages are going to be broken down. Now, just because there is a flat work package does not mean one person will get that package. That package could be split up 3 to 4 contractors. So we all have an opportunity. Now, I'm going to say this bluntly. Let's stack the cards against South Point connectors. Let's come to the house and show up that we are committed to making this project a success. What would you guys say about that? So,
I
are there
think
any
that's
questions? If there are no questions, Jay, Kelly, I would appreciate if you would just give a quick recap of what you covered.
Jay, did you want to go first and talk big picture?
absolutely. Thank you, Kelly. Again, please feel free to reach out to us in any of the forms available. If you have questions, if you have DBE questions and come through any of the public information sites, I can get that to Kelly. But also, we also will have hiring opportunities available starting in the spring, and those are available through a website called kiewitcraftjobs.com or even kiewitjobs.com. And we recommend everyone to go through that process. It's very simple, but you can also reach out to us, and there's a hotline available if you have questions. But we are getting ready to start major construction, and as Kelly will, I'm sure, reaffirm that we have a lot of subcontracting opportunities available in the coming weeks and months.
Great.
And I'll
Kelly.
take that as my cue. That is exactly what I'm going to do. So the first thing I want to say, I can't say it. It's like one of my favorite things in the world to say. This is a 1.6 billion with a B project. There is so much opportunity. Again, totaling over $240 million. There are opportunities here. So we just want to remind you that you are welcome to participate, to engage with us. We are looking forward to getting to know your firms, getting to know your interest, your capabilities. We just ask that you communicate with us, reach out, visit our website, join our database, sign up for Building Connected, and make sure you're keeping an eye on that procurement calendar so that you're staying abreast of what opportunities are coming up.
Outstanding. Permit us to help you grow your company. Not only about the companies, but we're talking about the community. There are opportunities out there for you. Jay, would you take that away as far as the labor opportunities? Because we're not just talking about the DB contractors, we're talking about multiplying, providing jobs in the community.
Absolutely, Sharon. As everyone knows, in this day and age, finding craft help is very difficult. So we are going to leave no stone unturned to find all available craft out there. And experience level isn't necessarily what we're always looking for. Inexperienced people new to the construction industry are absolutely welcome. We are, as Kelly mentioned earlier, we're going to peak out at about 500 craft between South Point and subcontractors. That is a lot of positions to keep available. So we're going to be hiring for the duration of the project. So we do have websites available. As I mentioned, kiewitcraftjobs.com and kiewitjobs.com, where you can fill out a profile and make yourself available and on those sites, look for the projects available in Fort Worth. We also have an employment hotline if you don't have access to the internet or if you're having trouble with the site. There's an employment hotline that you can call as well. And that is available at 833-226-2727.
And we look forward to seeing your name come across the screen when you're coming in. Thank you for joining us, Kelly, Jay. It's been such a pleasure. And I look forward to speaking to you in the future so we can continue to present this information to our community. I'm Sharon Douglas, your host for Things You Need to Know. 1.6 billion? That's what you need to know. Have a great day.